Hola, my friends. Welcome back to A Life I Choose, the place to be to design your life so you can thrive. And Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that you had an amazing time with your family and with your friends, and that you're feeling renourished and ready to welcome in 2020. I think that you guys know by now that I love New Year's. I'm not one for the parties, but although I like certain kinds of parties. But anyway, we're diverting. So what I love is that New Year's is like a really good time. It's kind of like your birthday, where you can take some time to reflect on where your life is at the moment and where you want to move it. It's a fantastic opportunity for sort of closing and opening. It's kind of like stock taking of your life. Resolutions, New Year's resolutions have kind of a bad reputation, and there's a reason for this. They don't usually work, and there's a science behind why they don't usually work, and I'm gonna get to that. But the reason that we have the resolution in the first place is that we all have the fundamental human need for growth. We have 6 human needs, and the last 2 are growth and contribution, and these are our spiritual needs. The majority of people in the world don't take care of their need for growth, they ignore it. But what happens when we ignore the need for growth is that life becomes stagnant, repetitive, boring, unfulfilling, and we start to experience emotions like anxiety, frustration, anger, boredom, emptiness on a recurrent basis. So if you're experiencing those emotions a lot, it's because you're not tapping into your need for growth. You're not addressing it enough. So this is where the concept of the New Year's resolution comes from. Now, when we do address our need for growth, what happens is that life becomes exciting and it becomes fulfilling, especially if you are growing in alignment with your purpose, right? It's not enough to just set targets that are not in alignment with who you are, right? I mean, if you set a target to run a marathon, but that doesn't fulfill you, it's not going to be fulfilling. So it's growth, but it's like, kind of not for you. So what's important is that your targets are in alignment with what makes you tick. When we take care of our need for growth, life becomes exciting, it's fulfilling, it's fun. And what happens is, because we are experiencing fulfillment and because we're experiencing more joy, because it feels good, life feels good, because we're on the edge of our comfort zone, we're growing, we're doing new things, we're experiencing ourselves in new ways, we begin to treat people better, the people around us better. Because when we experience a lack of fulfillment, so we're experiencing a lot of anxiety, a lot of anger, frustration, we move from that space. We address people from that space. So we're not our best selves. But when we do take care of our need for growth, then we can really take care of our need for contribution, to give back and treat the people around us well. So this is why the need for growth matters. And this is why I love New Year's, because it's a fantastic opportunity to address our need for growth. So in today's video, I have 7 simple steps that you can take, that you can do at home. Okay, I'm going to give you questions and then you can answer them to ensure that you have a kick-ass 2020. Let's go to step 1. Build on success. When we want to improve our lives, we all have a terrible habit of focusing on what's not working. So before you go to what's not working, we build upon success. We thrive on success. The brain loves success. So I want you to list down your 3 major highlights of 2019. These could be things that happened to you that you're grateful for, or that you achieved through your hard work. Just list them down now. Point 2. Be clear about the areas of your life that you want to boost. Now, I'm going to put the Wheel of Life up on the screen, and I want you to take a look at these 7 areas of your life. Now, for us to be living a high quality of life that is fulfilling and exciting, we need to consistently be boosting these 7 areas, and all these areas affect each other. If you were to score yourself in each of these 7 areas on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being this area is doing absolutely crap in my life, and 10 being I'm rocking and rolling, it couldn't get any better, where would you rate each of these areas? Each area is going to give you a sense of what needs to be boosted next year. For example, back in 2018, I did this Wheel of Life, and I found that the areas I was rocking at were my relationships and my emotions and meaning. And the areas that I was not rocking at were my physical health and my business, right? So I had just started the life I choose, and I was like struggling a bit to make it financially profitable. So from there, I got a good sense, okay, I need to focus on my business, I need to really, really build it, and I need to focus on my physical health. That's what I did in 2018, and they really, really paid off. In 2019, I was rocking and rolling at my business because I gave it so much love, and my health was kicking ass too. But what was struggling was my celebration, like letting go, having fun, making time for myself, and my relationship. Pete and I had drifted apart a little because we were so focused on our own work. In 2019, I made the commitment to myself to boost my relationship and my celebration and fun and letting go and contribution. These have paid off, and they've affected all the other areas as well. You know, they've also affected my business, being able to let go and having a more positive relationship with my husband, and you know, it's been kick-ass. So I want you to have a look at this wheel of life and just ask yourself, what are the 2 areas that I want to boost in 2020? Now, like I said earlier, our brains have this amazing way of looking at what we suck at, okay, and making that bigger. Now, whatever we focus on, energy goes to. So whatever we focus on grows. The reason that New Year's resolutions don't work is because people tend to focus on the problem. So it's like, I want to lose weight in 2020, right? Because I'm a fat ass or whatever. Or I want to quit smoking, you know, like I'm fed up in my relationship, or, you know, kind of I want to, whatever. Whenever we focus on a problem, the problem grows. So rather than focusing on the areas you're not rocking at right now, I want to ask you a bit of a funny question, right? And I want you to write down your answer. So if you had a magic wand and you could just, you know, change the situation right now, okay, how would you know your life was better? What would your life be and feel like? How would you know it was different? And be very specific. By answering this question, you're focusing on how you want your life to be instead of how you don't want it to be. If you focus on how you don't want your life to be, your energy will go there. You'll keep creating that. If you focus on how you want your life to be, then your energy will shift to there and you'll begin to create that. Step 4, identify what's holding you back. In order to move forward, we need to acknowledge what's been holding us back. Okay, so in our relationship with our partner, like, what's been holding me back from putting my love and energy there, right? Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it resentment? Okay, or in my business, what's been holding me back from starting my own business? Is it fear? Is it like a lack of knowledge? Do I not know what I need to do? Maybe I need to seek guidance. So be very, very honest with yourself about what's preventing you. The temptation here of our brains is to make excuses for us and say things like, I don't have the time, I don't have the right connections, my husband's an asshole, or whatever. Like, really take ownership here and be honest with yourself about what's been preventing you from changing things, from improving things. 5, why does this even matter? Why does it even matter to make this boost, right? A reason that most of us don't tap into this need for growth is because we tend to think we have all the time in the world. But the truth is, we don't. And the longer you leave a situation that you're not happy with there, the more it's going to grow. So let's say at the moment your finances are not rocking, okay? You have enough money maybe to make it by, but you're kind of just making it by. You're going from paycheck to paycheck. There's no savings. Whenever a big payment comes in, it's always like, ah, shit, how the hell are we going to pay for this or whatever? The longer that you leave that unaddressed, the longer that you do not create a strategy, first create a vision for how you want your finances to be, and then create the strategy to get there, the worse that situation's gonna get. So I want you to ask yourself, if I do nothing about the situation, if I take no action to improve this, how is this situation going to be 1 year from now? Write it down. Then answer, how is this situation going to be 3 years from now if I take no action? Write it down. And then answer, how is my situation going to be 5 years from now if I take no action? What this does, it creates a sense of urgency in you, right? At the end of the day, growth comes from taking action. We have to take little action steps consistently, okay? And that is how we'll make the change. Now, I want you to ask yourself, if you achieved what you want, how would your life change? And how would that impact the way you feel about yourself? And how would it impact your interactions with others? 6, Quit making excuses. I mentioned this earlier, right? Our brains love to make excuses for us because our brains fear that if we actually commit, okay, and actually declare what we're committing, that then we might fail and then everybody will know we failed, or worse, will know we failed, right? And that produces shame. It's very natural that we make excuses for ourselves when we're going for self-growth. And this is why the majority of people don't take care of their need for growth, because it's scary, okay? So they make excuses. They say, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the right connections, like, oh, I had a really bad situation in childhood and I'm screwed for life, I've always been like this, I can't change it. People make excuses all the time. The most successful people in the world did not have all the right resources. They did not have all the right conditions. Everyone's been through trauma. And okay, somebody might be going, yeah, but there's different degrees. Fine. I can assure you there's somebody who's been through something worse than you, okay? And I say this with love. We've all been through trauma. But what I'm saying is stop holding yourself back by making excuses for yourself. Tune in with yourself and give yourself the chance to go after what you want, okay? So the most successful people in life did not have all the resources, but what they did have and what they do have is an attitude of resourcefulness. This is a solution-focused state. So that no matter what happens, the walls could crumble around you, okay? We could end up in a world war. No matter what happens, your question for life won't be, why me? But it will be, okay, how can I make this better? What can I do to inject more love into this? How can I improve this? What beauty can I create from this? Okay, it is a solution-focused attitude to whatever life sends you so that you do not allow life to crumble you. You always rise up, you grow, and you give back. My question for you now is, what resources do you have right now that you can use to create the change that you want? And don't look for a miracle solution, just look for little resources that you can use. So what technology could you use? Who could you speak to? Who could you learn from? What course could you take? Who will lend you some money so that you can take that course, so you can buy that equipment to start your business, okay? What resources do you have available to you right now that you can use to achieve your goal? My last and final tip is be a leader. The difference between leaders and people who are not leaders, okay, let's call them non-leaders, is that, okay, the majority of people, when they are making a decision, they want to be absolutely certain that it's the right decision. So if you're making a big investment of money, you want to be absolutely certain that you are going to get your investment fully returned to you. Now, this is not just most people, this is all people. This is the way that the brain works. We want certainty. But when it comes to growth, nothing is certain. So I'm not saying jump completely blindfolded, but leaders base their decisions on probability, not on certainty, okay? They write down what they want, they know why they want it, okay? And then they base the decision on probability. How probable is it that they are going to achieve this? Now, if you want to boost your physical health, for example, there's no certainty that you will boost it, okay? But there's probability, right? You'll adjust your diet, you will exercise regularly, you will drink enough water, you will get enough sleep, and you will do this consistently, right? You don't do it for a week, decide it sucks and quit. You need to do it consistently. What's the probability that you will achieve the outcome that you want, which is of being a healthy, energetic person? It's very probable. Leaders base the decisions on probability, not on certainty. So the difference between a leader and a non-leader is commitment. So what I really encourage you to do today is commit. Commit fully to the growth that you want in 2020. Step into it fully. So answer this question now. What growth am I committed to creating in my life in 2020? Write it down now. So those are the 7 tips to create a kick-ass 2020. And if you sit down with these 7 questions and you answer them honestly, you will absolutely rock and roll in 2020. Now, if you want to take 2020 to the next level, okay, and you want to be unstoppable next year, then come and join us at the New Year Evolution Workshop. The New Year Evolution Workshop, you've heard me talk about this before, and I'm going to talk about it again because it's a super fun and it's a massively impactful workshop that will really help you to design an amazing, fulfilling year that is in alignment with your purpose. Okay, you will set targets that are in alignment with your purpose so that you really experience fulfillment, and then you can give back on a deeper and more far-reaching level in 2020. So at the New Year Evolution Workshop, you will leave with a vision for the 2020 you're going to create, with the strategy to get there, and most importantly, we are going to be addressing the fear that gets in the way. Fear and shame are the two things that will limit you more than anything, okay? Fear and shame is something that every single one of us experiences. And until we learn how to play with fear and shame, how to be like, oh, I see you. You're trying to fuck me over again. You're trying to stop me in my tracks. I see you. Thanks, fear. Thanks for protecting me, for trying to protect me. I don't need you. I got this. Okay, and then you keep going with your vision. Okay, we all need to learn and play with our fear, to dance with our fear, okay? There's no such thing as getting rid of fear completely. Fear is biologically ingrained in us, but there is such a thing as learning to dance with our fear, learning to be curious about our fear, because our fear actually lets us know where we need to grow, and learning to just keep going anyway. So I hope that I'll see you at the New Year Evolution Workshop. I'm going to link the tickets below. By the time you see this video, there'll be the last few tickets left. So I really do urge you to go and get those tickets now, because I'd really love to meet you there, and I'd love to create a kick-ass 2020 with you. It's going to be so much fun. So guys, Happy New Year. Well done for kicking ass in 2019. And I can't wait to see you in 2020 more and more and more. And I wish you so much love. Peace. Bye.